Alright, turabashuje mwese abakurikiranye C4 TV. Tuba dufite ibintu byinshi cyane tubagezaho, ndizera ko mumeze neza kandi mugiye kugira ikindi gihe cyiza cyo kugira ibintu mumenya. So uyu munsi tugiye kuganira kuri gahunda ihari mu minsi iza kuri tariki ya 25 z'ukwezi kwa gatatu uyu mwaka w'2023 nyine, aho hazaba hari gahunda ya covid vaccines, aho hari kuri Americana tuba dutanga vaccine, kandi abantu benshi bari bamaze kwibagirwa ko bagomba gufata booster. Nabyo tuzaba turi kugira ngo abantu benshi babone ama booster, bongere babe updated cyangwa se bajye ku gihe kuri covid. So uyu munsi twagize amahirwe yo kugira umutumirwa tugiye kuganira, kugira tuganirize byinshi ku bijyanye n'icyo gikorwa, atubwire n'amakuru menshi. So Diana was introducing what we're gonna do here. Hope we give you a warm welcome. You can start by introducing yourself. Many people, like I myself, is the first time to see you, but I know something related to Kentucky and Nurses Association. So, like heads up that I was given to know who we're gonna have in the studio. But you can start by introducing yourself, and we tell the people who are going to be our audience who you are and what you do.
Thank you very much, Topher. My name is Delanor Manson, and I'm the CEO for the Kentucky Nurses Association. And I'm a nurse, and I've been a nurse for greater than 40 years. And what I do for the Kentucky Nurses Association that impacts our community the most is that we are providing COVID-19 vaccines and COVID-19 testing.
Uh-huh. So, is it something that you do in as like in that association, or is just your work, not like what you do in COVID only, or is something part of it?
Well, this is something that is targeted through the Kentucky Nurses Association. It is not something that we usually do, but when the
Okay.
pandemic hit, the Nurses Association decided that we had to support our communities throughout Kentucky. And so we volunteered to
Oh,
start doing vaccinations, and we recruited nurses, over 7,000 of them, to help
wow.
us to do vaccinations and then also to do testing.
So umuntu tugiye kuganira rero, nk'uko twavugaga, ni umuntu ukuriye urugaga rw'abaforomo muri Kentucky yose. Urumva ni umuntu ukomeye, kandi bakaba bafite gahunda bahayarinze cyangwa se bakorana n'abaforomo batandukanye barenga ibihumbi 70, batanze umusada wabo cyangwa se kugira bafashe muri iki gihe cya covid, kuva itangiye, bafasha gutanga amavakisi. Niwe tugiye kuganira rero. So mube hafi, kandi ikibazo cyose muza kugira mwaza kubyandika muri comment kugira tuzabimugezeho. So we're gonna start asking you, as for now, we had COVID. I guess it's gonna be like maybe 3 years since we started having it.
March the 20th.
So many people have already forget about it. Some of them don't even think that we still have it. So can I ask you this question? We still have COVID-19, or it's
We
gone?
still have COVID-19. It is still real. It is still
Okay.
infecting people. It is still killing people. It is still making people very sick. COVID-19 is not gone away. It is still with us. And it's going to
Okay.
be with us for a very long time.
Mhm. So icyo ni cyo kintu cya mbere twabazaga. Hari abantu benshi bamaze kwibagirwa covid kubera ntabwo bakivugaho nka mbere. Covid, ese covid iracyahari? Yaradusubije ko covid iracyahari, kandi ikintu avuze ntaho iteze kujya. Tugiye kugumana nayo mu gihe kirekire. So iracyahari, iracyafata abantu benshi, kandi benshi iracyatuma barwara cyane, ndetse bamwe bakabura ubuzima. So ikindi kibazo namubaza, ese mu mibare bafite iteye ite ugereranyije n'igihe covid yatangiye? So Diana, I want to ask you, since we had covid, since it started, like do we still have the same numbers? How are the numbers like these days? Is it still high, or how many people are being infected weekly or monthly? So how if you give us like updates about numbers to see the severity of it.
Well, it is nothing like when before we had a vaccine. So people are not dying by the millions like they were before we had a vaccine. With the induction of the vaccines and being able to distribute those vaccines to the community, we were able to reduce the numbers. But right now, there's a different type of COVID-19, the Omicron. And so there's a different vaccine than the previous one. So when you ask me how many people are dying, we have people who are sick, who are in hospitals. However, they're not dying at the same rate. When
Mhm.
people get COVID, they are getting sick. But we have a treatment for COVID. But if you get COVID, there is also the possibility of having what we call long COVID, which means that symptoms that don't go away, or symptoms like fatigue and tiredness that many people are not getting over. Some
Mhm.
issues are neurological. And so, what I say is the goal is not to get COVID, not to
Yeah.
get COVID and then say that there's a medication that I can take that will make me feel okay.
Okay. So nk'uko ari kubivuga ni ukuvuga igihe tugezemo ntabwo imibare ikiri hejuru cyane nk'uko covid igitangira yari imeze ariko n'ubundi iracyafata abantu benshi kandi ikabaha ibimenyetso n'ingaruka zishobora kugira ubuzima bwabo nabi mu gihe kirekire nko kuba hari abantu benshi baguma bagira umunaniro ukabije kandi ntugende ibyo yise ibimenyetso biri neurological cyangwa se ibimenyetso bigendana n'umubiri mu bwonko bikaba byahaguma so icyiza ni uko utafatwa na covid ni ukurwanya ko warwara covid-19 kandi nk'uko ari kubivuga hari uburyo bwinshi umuntu yabirwanya kandi inkingo zirahari na covid itangira hari uburyo yari iteye n'uburyo imeze ubu ngubu ibyo bita variant ntabwo ikimeze kimwe hari nk'iyaje yitwa omicron yaje yiyongera ku yari ihari so abantu bagomba kumenya ko bigenda bitandukana niyo mpamvu umuntu agomba kumenya ko covid igihari kandi agomba kuyirinda since we had it do we still have like other ways to protect yourself from covid-19 so before talking about vaccines are there any updates about ways to avoid getting contracted with covid-19?
You can stay home, which is
Stay
not
home,
possible.
which is
You can
not
stay
possible.
home. I think when I think about decreasing risk of exposure to COVID-19, one of the ways is to wear a mask, especially if you're going to be in groups of people, and make that a constant to wear a mask. Other things is to social distance. Social distancing is always good. The further away you are from people, the less chance of you getting COVID-19. And making sure that you wash your hands. But the whole idea is to not be in a space where other people may have COVID. And so you cannot tell who those people are. In many cases, you may be in a room with people who've not been vaccinated or who've not been vaccinated at all. When we look at Kentucky, or especially in Jefferson County, we have a large percentage of individuals who have had the primary series, which is the first two doses. And then we've
Yeah.
had people who've had the next two doses, which we call the booster. But we have a very small number of people who have had the bivalent. And the bivalent is the most recent booster, is
Mhm.
what the CDC is calling it. But that shot is for a different strain of COVID. It is not like the ones that you had for the initial strains of COVID.
Yeah. So nk'uko ari gukomeza bivuga ko hagiye habaho amavugurura mu gihe ubushakashatsi bwakorwaga bwo ku nkingo za covid-19 aho twatangiriye ubu ngubu ntabwo ariho tugeze haje izindi nkingo za booster zaje ziyongera ku zindi zari zihari ubu ngubu hari ebyiri nshyashya bivuga ko arizo ziba ziri gufasha abantu cyane ariyo mpamvu umuntu agomba kongera kwirinda, akibuka amabwiriza yose yari yaravuzwe, kwambara masike biracyakomeje. Mu gihe ubona ugiye muri gurupe y'abantu benshi batandukanye, ugomba kwambara masike, ugomba guhora wibuka gukaraba intoki, ugomba guhora wirinda kujya mu kivunge mu gihe bishoboka cy'abantu benshi batandukanye. Ariyo mpamvu avuga ko no ku bijyanye n'inkingo muri Jefferson County, aho abantu benshi batuye, ariho n'umujyi wa Louisville uri, abantu benshi bafashe inkingo za mbere ziriya ebyiri, yaba warafashe Johnson cyangwa se Pfizer cyangwa ziriya zindi, ariko bibagirwa ko bagomba gukomeza bagafata n'izindi mu gihe covid yari imaze gucogora. Ariyo mpamvu bagomba kongera gusubirayo bagafata izindi nkingo. So let's talk about vaccines, what we're going to have these days. And so there are many people, as you said, even myself included. I got 2 doses, but later on I forget about it because nobody's talking about it, and we think we're good, and we are not taking the second doses or third doses like boosters. And I want you to tackle down about people who said, hey, these vaccines are giving us like what I can say, side effects which are not good. There were those rumors and the myth about it saying, so don't get it. Some of the people get only 2 and they said, I will not get other ones because I don't want to die from a heart attack, from any neurological disorders caused by vaccines. What can you say about it, or your comment about it?
Well, I can say that I've had 5.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 5 doses, and I'm doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I
I'm
can
doing
tell.
good. Right? I've had 5. I had 2 primary series, I had 2 boosters, and I've had the bivalent. And I feel
Mhm.
like that
So
even
those are
I,
3.
excuse me?
Those are those
No,
are 3 boosters.
no. Well, it is a third booster. However, it's called a bivalent, and it's different than the other 2 boosters. It is a booster that has been designed to address the COVID as it is now. The
Mm-hmm.
other medications that we had were to address COVID as it was then. So what happened with COVID is it changed as people
Mm-hmm.
were getting vaccines, and then there were lots of people who didn't get the vaccine. And so
Yeah.
what happened was it would change so that it would survive. So
Mm-hmm.
it changed every time so it would survive. And so now we have a COVID that is it can be treated with the new bivalent, which the CDC is calling another booster, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
BA4 and a BA5. So if you had 2 doses, you should get 1 more booster, because this 1 more booster is the booster that will help you with the COVID as it is today.
Okay. Yeah, nk'uko ari gukomeza bisobanura rero ku bijyanye n'amavaccine niho twari tugeze. Nayo mubajije, hari abantu benshi twagiye dufata vaccine, dufata iza mbere, tugeze aho tubona biracecetse, nta muntu ukibivugaho cyane, benshi tuguma twiturije ntitwafata iza kabiri. Rero nk'uko covid igenda ihindagurika, nk'uko amavirusi menshi ameze, amavirusi arahindagurika, zagiye zihindagurika ku buryo amavariant yandi ya nyuma bagiye bayakorera izindi vaccine zijyanye nazo ziriya yitaga amabooster. Ariyo mpamvu twese dukwiye kujya gufata izo booster kugira ngo zijyane na covid igihe aho iyo variant igeze, kugira zibashe kuyirwanya, ntubashe kuzayirwara cyangwa se ugire ingaruka zayo. So ikindi kibazo numva bashaka kumubaza, ese hari umuti nk'uko twavuze kuvuga vaccine, kugeza isaha hari umuti wigeze uboneka wa covid? So Delano, I want to ask you, we are talking about vaccines, but so far as the researchers are going forward to fight against COVID-19, do we have any treatment so far as the cure of COVID-19?
We have treatments for symptoms for COVID-19. If you are a person who's immunocompromised, and you get COVID-19 and you have symptoms, there is a medication that you can take by calling your physician. However, the best way to feel better from COVID-19 is not to get it.
Yes, you made sure about it. I love that. Yeah, nkuko ari gukomeza bivuga, umuti wa mbere wo kugira ukire COVID-19 avuze ko ni ukugira ntuyigire. So ikintu cya mbere kugira utagira COVID-19 ntuyirware cyangwa se ntugire na hamwe uyandurira. Ariko umuti wo kugeza ubu ngubu baracyavura ibimenyetso gusa, iyo ugize ibimenyetso runaka barabivura, ariko nta muti uhari ukiza COVID-19 ntawo, ariyo mpamvu dukwiye kuyirinda. So about it, I wanna talk about this, about people who sometimes demean it, like, or who feel like, who make it simple. As um, as we have for now, there are some people who said, "I never get it." I've been in home where people get COVID. Like we had people who get COVID, and I was there, and I didn't get it. So far, I think I'm good. I don't want any treatment. I don't want any vaccines. I don't want any precautions to do any precautions because I'm good. Because many people have shared this myth saying because we didn't get it, so we will not get it. So what can you tell them?
You've been lucky.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You've been lucky. So
Yeah.
I equate COVID with, I drive a car and I have
Mm-hmm.
not been in an accident in 20 years, but I wear a seatbelt just in case I get in an accident. And so I want to say you may not get COVID, but you want to have your seatbelt on, which is your COVID vaccine if you get into an
Yeah.
accident.
Ah, that's a good answer. So aravuze nawe mubajije ese abantu batigeze barwara COVID, bakabana n'abantu bayirwaye bakavuga ati se ko ntigeze nyirwara, none se nta kibazo rero ntabwo ngomba kujya muri ibyo byose no kwirushya mbona amavakisi. Mbere naho kuba utararwaye COVID-19 warabanye n'abayirwaye ni amahirwe, niko yabivugaga, ni nk'amahirwe wagize. Rero niyo mpamvu ugomba kurwanya kugira ngo utagira COVID-19. So Dylan, I want to ask you about COVID-19, the impact we have of COVID-19 because of the lifestyle that we had because of COVID-19, the lockdown. Many people lose employment, and many people did go like backwards financially, mentally. Even people, things that they planned to do, did they go accordingly? Some people had some impact socially, emotionally, many things. Did you met with these cases like, I can say maybe which related into health, maybe mental health, having many cases of mental health rising because of COVID-19, or what comment can you say about it?
I can say that the issues related to mental health are real, and that the lockdown was not something that I think was done to harm people, but to save people from getting exposed and dying.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that many people suffered financially and in mental health and in their education. I want to say that all of those things are real.
Yeah.
But the people who are still alive because of the lockdown have a chance to get more financial stability, to get mental health support, and to get back to school. And it may take some time, but they are alive to do that.
Yes, yes. Yeah, ikintu nari mubajije hari ingaruka za COVID-19. Twavugaga kuri COVID-19, ariko muri iki gihe mu myaka 3 imaze hari ingaruka zitandukanye zagiye zigaragara. Hari benshi twagiye mu bintu byinshi bitandukanye byo kubura imirimo, abandi no kuba mu rugo cyane, n'ibindi bizazane byajyanye nayo. Hari n'ibibazo byazamutse byinshi cyane bijyanye n'ubuzima bwo mu mutwe kubera COVID-19. Ariko hose hari ubufasha butandukanye bwagiye butangwa no muri ibi bigo bitandukanye nkawe ikigo akorera cya Kentucky Nurses Association, bagiye bafasha abantu kugira ngo babashe kongera gusubira mu buzima busanzwe nyuma ya COVID-19. Ariyo mpamvu twavugaga cyane cyane no kwirinda kugira izo ngaruka zose zidakomeza kubaho. Icya mbere cyiza ni uko wabashije kubicamo ukaba uri muzima. Ibindi ni ugukomeza kurwanya izi ngaruka ziterwa nayo kugira ngo twongere dusubire mu buzima busanzwe, nicyo twavugaho. So Dylan, I want us to talk about this day so that people know what's going to happen, and if they need to follow up to have these boosters. As we were saying, it's the only way as a seat belt we wear to just help us fight COVID-19. Let's talk about this day, the upcoming events we're having, so that people may know what is happening and what's going to happen there.
Well, on March the 25th, we're having our next COVID-19 clinic at Americana. And I would like to invite every person who has not had the opportunity to either get a primary series or a bivalent booster to come and see us. We will be there. The Kentucky Nurses Association will be there. And the other thing that's really important for them to know is you only need to have something that has your name printed on it. You don't have to have any other ID. You don't have to have any insurance or anything like that. Please come and let us help you. Here's the other thing. May the 11th is when vaccines will no longer be free unless you're getting them from us at the Kentucky Nurses Association, because that is the end of the public health emergency. So if you don't get it from the Kentucky Nurses Association after May the 11th, you'll have to pay for it. And they may cost up to and over $100 each. We have them free.
Yeah.
They're free, no charge.
All right. Amakuru duhaye ni meza cyane. Ikintu cya mbere abantu bagomba kumenya nuko ku itariki 25 z'ukwezi kwa gatatu 2023 hazaba ari kuwa gatandatu cyangwa se ku isabato, hazaba hari gutangwa inkingo z'ubuntu kuri Americana Community Center. Abantu benshi barahazi, hari kuri Family Center ya Americana. Hazaba hari Kentucky Nursing Association cyangwa se urugaga rw'abaganga bo muri Kentucky bazaba bahuriye hamwe mu gutanga inkingo ku bantu bose ku buntu. Hanyuma ikindi kiravuze nuko nyuma y'izi tariki, guhera kuri tariki 11 z'ukwa gatanu 2023, igihe cyagenwe cyo kurwanya COVID cyangwa se as a public emergency nk'ikintu kibiza cyari cyaje, bizaba birangiye. Ibikorwa byo kurwanya COVID nk'ikiza cyangwa se nka emergency bizaba birangiye. Ni ukuvuga nyuma yaho umuntu uzashaka kubona izi nkingo azajya yishyura, kandi buri rukingo rushobora kuba rushobora kugura amafaranga guhera ku $100 kuzamura rumwe. Bivuze ko bishobora gutwara amafaranga menshi atari make ugereranyije. Urumva niba ugiye kubikora ukabikora umuntu umwe mu muryango munini, ukabikorera abantu 5, yaba ari amafaranga menshi cyane byagorana kubona. Rero ariyo mpamvu kuri izi tariki zaba ari igikorwa cyo gukingira abantu ku buntu. Ndakeka aya mahirwe atazagucika kugira ngo ubashe kubibona buntu, bitazaguhenda cyangwa se bizajye kujya ku bwishingizi bwawe kandi wenda nabwo butabyishyura. So the other question that I have for you regarding COVID vaccinations, about these vaccines, there are some people who had previous vaccines, but they lost the record of it. Like maybe I get these two primary series and I don't have any record of it. So how are you going to proceed with them?
Well, it was recorded in what we call the Kentucky Immunization Registry, so we can look them up. If they don't have their cards, they can still come. Okay. And we will be having vaccinations for 5 and above, so 5 years old and above, and adults. We will be providing Pfizer only, but we will have adult and pediatric doses. for the
Good.
children.
Okay, so iyi nshuro bazaba bari gutanga Pfizer ni rwo rukingo bazaba bari gutanga hariya, hanyuma bazaba bafite inkingo z'abantu bose guhera ku myaka 5, abana b'imyaka 5 kuzamura n'abantu bakuru bazaba bafite doze cyangwa se ingero z'abantu batoya, abana cyangwa pediatric n'abantu bakuru. Aricyo kigiye gutuma mubaza ku bandi bantu bafite inkingo zindi zitari Pfizer, ese bizagenda gute cyangwa se nta kibazo byatera. So Dylan, I want to ask you, as you will be providing Pfizer as vaccines, which are gonna be provided, and just this comes in my mind. Some people heard maybe other different vaccines like Johnson Johnson, others. I don't remember the other one. There were so many.
Moderna. Mhm.
Yeah, Medova.
Moderna.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
what's going to happen to them? Are they going to proceed with Pfizer if they didn't
Yes.
receive it previously?
Yes,
Is there any
they'll get
problem?
Pfizer. No problem whatsoever.
Mm.
No
So
problem.
nta kibazo kirimo kuba warafashe Johnson Johnson ukaba wafata Pfizer, avuze ko nta kibazo kirimo. So as we wrap up with our conversation, which was really good and informative, and it's going to help many people, I tell you. So I want to ask you, or let's do a review about symptoms. Maybe was there anything changed so that people know symptoms of COVID, if nothing have changed, or if there are any updates in the symptoms as variants also coming in as different ones.
First of all, I want to say if you have symptoms, get tested.
Mhm.
Okay, that's first thing. And the symptoms are runny nose, fever, headache. Sometimes you're really tired. You can have achy joints. So here's what I tell people: if they're feeling bad, get tested. It's COVID until you get tested, and it's not COVID.
Yeah, that's a good one. So kugira nari mubajije hari ibintu byinshi byagiye bihinduka, nimubajije niba ibimenyetso bya COVID-19 uko byatangiye ariko bikimeze cyangwa se abitwibutse kugira abantu bongere bibukiranye ibimenyetso bya COVID-19. So aravuze icyoroshye mu gihe wumva utameze neza, wumva umubiri wawe utameze neza, genda wipimishe. Nicyo cyonyine cyakubwira ko udafite COVID. Ni COVID kugeza igihe cyose utaripimisha urebe ko atariyo. Hanyuma kugira ubimenye, hari bya bimenyetso byinshi bitandukanye, kugira runny nose cyangwa se kugira ibicurane, ibimyira, kuba wakumva utameze neza mu mubiri, ufite umunaniro ukabije, kugira umuriro mwinshi. Ibyo byose biri mu bimenyetso bya COVID-19. So ikintu cya mbere ugomba gukora ni uguhita ugenda kwipimisha. And to wrap up, I want to ask you to differentiate between flu and COVID, as many people always confuse them, and they don't know what to do in that case.
Well, again, I'm going to say if you have symptoms, it's COVID until it's proven not to be COVID. And
Yes.
so I can say that symptoms of COVID are pretty exacerbated, and our flu numbers in Jefferson County are going down. Our COVID numbers are going up.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. And also, if I like to think of it as if you've been in a place where you've potentially been exposed to
Mm-hmm.
someone who has COVID,
Mm-hmm.
you may exhibit symptoms from 2 to 14 days.
Yeah.
Stay away from other people, your loved ones. Get tested so that you'll know whether you have COVID or not.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about COVID, I think about I want to protect me, but more than me, I want to protect my family.
Yeah.
You see,
That's true.
these are the people that I love. These are
Yeah.
the people that I really want to be okay. It's
Mhm.
not really about me, it's really
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So mu bibazo namubazaga bijyanye na flu cyangwa se ibicurane abantu benshi bakunda kwitiranya, ikintu cya mbere kuko inshuro nyinshi bijya gusa, ariko ibimenyetso bya COVID-19 bikunda kuba bikaze cyangwa se bikakaye. Ariyo mpamvu ikintu cya mbere ugomba gukora ni uko wipimisha, ariko mu gihe ukeka ko waba waranduye COVID-19, hari ahantu wenda wahuriye n'umuntu uyirwaye ukabimenya, ugomba kugerageza kwirinda guhura n'abantu hagati y'iminsi 2 n'iminsi 14 kubera ko ushobora kuba wabanduza. Kuko ikintu cya mbere uba ugomba kwirinda ariko ukarinda n'abantu ukunda, umuryango wawe, kugira utabasha kurwara COVID-19. So nakongera kwibutsa abantu ikintu cya mbere ko ari ukwibuka ko tariki 25 z'ukwezi kwa gatatu ari umunsi wo kwikingiza COVID-19 hariya kuri Americana. Abantu bose ntibazabure, abantu benshi barahazi muri Louisville. Thank you so much, Delana. So I can give you floor and you give maybe last message you want to give to people. And thank you so much. This was really nice and informative.
Well, I want to say thank you for inviting me and for allowing me to talk to our community. But with the Americana, it's from 9 to 2 on Saturday, March the 25th. And I hope to see as many community members as possible there.
Yeah, that's it. Twaravuze ngo yarangiza abashimira kuba mwamuhaye akanya ko kugira ngo abaganirize abahe n'ubumenyi ku bitandukanye, hanyuma bibutsa ko tariki 25 z'ukwezi kwa gatatu azaba ari ku isabato guhera isaa 3 za mu gitondo kugeza saa 11 azaba ari gutanga inkingo hara kuri Americana. Yifuza ko abantu benshi baza, benshi batandukanye, kugira ngo baze badufashe gukingira imiryango yabo no kwirinda kuba bakwandura COVID-19. Rero twamushimira cyane, ndizera ko hari ibintu byinshi wagize. Wabwaye muri kumwe ni Tofa, twabanye mu bihe bitandukanye kandi tubaganiriza kuri iyi ngingo. Hanyuma Delana Manson ava muri Kentucky Nursing Association, ariwe watuganirizaga uyu munsi, niwe CEO wabo, akaba ari umuntu waduhaye umwanya kugira tuganirize. So thank you so much. This was really nice and needed. And we hope to see you again in other shows or any topic or any help we need from you. We're pretty sure that you will not hesitate to give us that.
I will not hesitate. The other thing is, if people want to come on Saturday and just ask questions, I'll be there.
Yeah, ni ukuvuga n'abantu bose bashaka kuzaza baje kubaza ibibazo gusa ni karibu. Ngiye kumubaza ku bandi bantu batazabona umwanya wo kuhagera kuri icyo gihe, ese hari ibindi bikorwa biteganyijwe byo kugira ngo babashe kuba bakingirwa nabo. So Delana, there's this concern about some people who are not available on Saturdays. So those are many, and we have them in our community who go to church on Saturday, like Sabbath day, or the Seventh-day Adventist Church members. So do you have any other day or any upcoming events where they'll be able to attend this day so that they get vaccinated as well?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things I like about the work that we're doing in the community is we are trying to make it available to everyone and have it on days when people can come, and at times, whether it's during the daytime or in the evening time. And so I know that C4 Ministries are working on having clinics on a Sunday. And then I know that other community partners are having them during the week. And as I said, in the afternoons and in the evenings. So I would say to pay attention to C Forward Ministries website or the Kentucky Nurses Association website to find out when we'll having clinics that are not on a Saturday.
All right, thank you so much. Aravuze ngo tufite ibindi bice byinshi bitandukanye barebye kuri website cyangwa se C Forward Ministry ifite clinic aho bazaba batanga iziro nkingo n'ubundi ku munsi wo ku cyumweru utandukanye n'uwo ku isabato, kandi no mu mibyizi hari amaklinike nk'uko bazagenda abantu babimenyeshwa kuri C Forward Ministry